Good morning everyone, this is George from Ireland. In this video I'm going to explain how Donald Trump is not a nativist as he's often portrayed. Let me set the record straight. I was a day one abominator of Trump as a political candidate, but this particular accusation against him is bogus. Consider the evidence. His first wife and his third wife were both immigrants to the United States. The first, Mrs. Trump, Ivanka, she was from Czechoslovakia, which then existed. The third one was from Slovenia and may well have been working illegally in the United States at the outset as a nude model. How do you like that, Christian fundamentalist Trumpsters? And by the way, you know Trump, his second wife, he was having an affair with her for several years before he married her. Adultery. Well, some of the Christian dominionists want that punishable by death in the United States. So, what do you make of that, evangelicals? So what is a nativist? Perhaps I should have defined that at the beginning. Well, nativism, it's been a strand that's been around in American politics since the mid-19th century. The belief that all immigrants are bad and people in the United States, really only the whites are good ones, and it's been used against African Americans, against Asians, against Jewish people. It was often for WASPs. The WASP element of it has gone. If you're Irish and or Catholic, that seems to be completely acceptable for nativists. So we know that Trump has got a Jewish son-in-law. I don't think he's anti-Semitic. I think that's one of the few things he can't be accused of. But Trump has got no consistency. He was saying about people coming from Mexico, they're taking our jobs. Many of them are legal immigrants. They are entitled to take jobs. They come because they're invited. They obtain jobs which are advertised to them, right? And how did Trump's ancestors come to the United States? Now, Trump seems to draw no distinction between legal and illegal immigration. So there's no difference between buying and stealing, for example. Yes, sometimes they are taking jobs, and it's their right to do so, because they've been legally admitted with the right to work. And they're getting these jobs rather than Americans because they're either doing it better or doing it for a lower salary or whatever. And as a big employer, of course, Trump wants to drive wages down. And he's consistently chosen to buy products manufactured abroad, particularly in China, because they're better quality and or cheaper. That's that. And he always contradicts himself. I remember seeing this 2011 interview of Trump by Piers Morgan, in which he railed against Chinese students having to leave the country and wanted them to be allowed to stay and work. So, you can't have it both ways. Make up your mind. So he's a completely inconsistent. He's livid and ignorant, and that's Trump for you. I wonder, has he lost his reason? Everybody changes their mind somewhat, but he changes his mind to an insane degree. He will say whatever he thinks will advance his grandness in the short term. That's why he has no attention span, no conscience, no knowledge, no compassion, and will just lash out furiously. He's got no sense of shame, but counterintuitively, he is irate when he's embarrassed. It is grossly overblown a sense of self, and this is very easily affronted. He binges on ego, and it's bad to have someone who's egomaniacal in the White House with his finger on the nuclear button. His grossly inflated self-conceit has reached spectacular levels as he's now president. Well, perhaps the country gets the president it deserves. Thankfully, his ratings are down to about 30%, his approval ratings. Obama was too good for America. A professor of constitutional law, followed by this loudmouth ignoramus, race baiter. Trump is vaingloriousness incarnated. So what's his next turn? I just don't know. I don't think he's anti-black. He has flirted with the white supremacists, but I don't think he's made any anti-black statements. I'm fair to him, even when he's not fair to anyone else. So that's why Trump is not a nativist. To be something like that would require him to have some sort of consistency, and he believes in nothing besides himself. So he's railed against companies which hire people from abroad or buy products from abroad, despite doing just that himself. He's vile. It staggers me that some people are so stupid and so willfully purblind they do not perceive how utterly mendacious he is. Everybody lies, present company included, but Trump's mendacity is just off the scale. How could anyone believe a single thing he says when he tells the most bare-faced lies constantly, things which can be proven to be lies? And how do these Christian evangelicals support him when honesty is supposedly a Christian virtue? Lying lips are an insult to the Lord, so it says in the good book. There we are. May Trump get a massive heart attack for Christmas.